Welcome back, guys. We will start with 18th question. What is the difference between HasMap and TreeMap? The difference between HasMap and TreeMap are as below. HasMap maintains no order, but TreeMap maintains ascending order. HasMap is implemented by hash table, whereas TreeMap is implemented by a tree structure. HasMap can be sorted by key or value, whereas TreeMap can be sorted by key only. HasMap may contain a null key with multiple null values, whereas TreeMap cannot hold null key but can have multiple null values. 19th. What is the difference between HasMap and hashtable? HasMap is not synchronized. Hashtable is synchronized. HasMap can contain one null key and multiple null values. Hashtable cannot contain any null key or null value. HasMap is not thread safe, so it is useful for non-threaded applications. Hashtable is thread safe and it can be shared between various threads. HasMap inherits the abstract map class. Hashtable inherits the dictionary class. What is the difference between comparable and comparator? Comparable provides only one sort of sequence, whereas comparator provides multiple sort of sequence. In the case of comparable, it provides only one method named compare to. Comparator provides the method named compare. Comparable found in java.lang package, comparator found in java.util package. If we implement comparable interface, we have to change actual class. Means we have to modify the actual class. In the case of comparator, the actual class will not change. What does the hashcode method? The hashcode method returns a hashcode value. It is a type of an integer. The hashcode method returns the same integer number if two keys by calling equals methods are identical. However, it is possible that two hashcode numbers can have different or same keys. If two objects do not produce an equal result by using equals method, then the hashcode method will provide the different integer result for both objects. Why we override equals method? The equals method is used to check whether two objects are same or not. It needs to be overridden if we want to check the object based on the property. For example, employee is a class that has three data members: ID, name, and salary. However, we want to check the equality of employee object by the salary, then we need to override the equals method. How to synchronize list, set, and map elements? Yes, collection class provides method to make list, set, or map elements as synchronized. Public static list synchronize list. Public static set synchronize set. Public static sorted set synchronize set. Public static map synchronized map, and public static sorted map synchronized sorted map. What is hash collision in hash table and how it is handled in Java? Two different keys with same hash value are known as hash collision. Two separate entries will be kept in a single hash bucket to avoid the collision. There are two ways to avoid hash collision: separate chaining and open addressing. Do you understand by fail fast? The iterator in Java, which immediately throws concurrent modification exception if any structural modification occurs, it is called as fail fast iterator. Fail fast iterator does not require any extra space in the memory. How to make Java ArrayList read-only? We can obtain Java ArrayList read-only by calling the collection.unmodifiable collection method. When we define an ArrayList as a read-only, then we cannot perform any modification in the collection through add, remove or set method. How to remove duplicates from array list? There are two ways to remove duplicates from the array list using hashset. By using hashset, we can remove duplicate element from the array list, but it will not then preserve insertion order. By using linked hashset, we can also maintain the insertion order by using linked hashset instead of hashset. The process to remove duplicate element from array list using linked hashset: copy all the elements linked hashset, empty the array list using clear method which will remove the element from the list. Now copy all the elements of linked hashset to array list. What is an immutable class in Java? Immutable objects are instances whose state doesn't change after it has been initialized. For example, string is an immutable class and once instantiated, its value never changes. An immutable class is a good for caching purposes because you don't have to worry about the value changes. Another benefit of immutable class is that it is instantly thread safe, so we don't have to worry about thread safety in case of multi-threaded environment. How to create an immutable class in Java? To create immutable class in Java, you have to do following steps. First, declare the class as final so that no one can be extended. Make all fields private so that direct access is not allowed. Don't provide setter method for variables. Make all mutable fields final so that its value can be assigned only once. Initialize all the fields via constructor performing deep copy. Perform the cloning of objects in the getter methods to return the copy rather than returning the actual reference. What is meant by shallow copy and deep copy in Java? Both deep copy and shallow copy refers for creating copy of the object given in different ways. Shallow copy. The basically creates a new instance of the object and copies all the data from the original dataset to the newly created instance. This means the newly created instance has to be specifically cast into the original object. It is also known as shallow cloning. Deep copy. This is used when a separate copy of data is required for different purpose or uses. All the members of the class need to implement the clonable interface and override the clone method. What are the scopes of bean object in Spring Framework? There are total 5 scopes. Scope number 1, singleton. It is a by default. This scopes bean definition to a single instance per IOC container. Second, prototype. This scopes single bean definition to have any number of instances. First, it is related to HTTP request and one per request it will be created. Session, for one particular session, one particular HTTP session, one instance will be created. In global session, this is used in portlet web applications and this is only for one global session. What are the core interfaces of Hibernate? The core interfaces of Hibernate frameworks are configuration, session factory, session, query, criteria, and transaction. What is the session factory? Session factory provides the instance of session. It, it is a factory of session. It holds the data of secondary level cache. So how to create configuration? By using configuration class, we have to create configuration object. Then we have configure method and we have to configure by our cfg.xml file. Then we have to create session factory object by using factory method cfg.build session factory, and we will get session factory object. Then we have to create session object by using factory.open session. Then we have to create a transaction by session.begin transaction, and at the end we have to end the transaction. And session factory employee is equal to new employee, and we are passing values in constructor. Then we have to save that particular object by using session.persist method. Then we have to commit our transaction t.commit and close the session. What is a session factory in Hibernate? Configuration object is used to create a session factory object, which in turn configures Hibernate for application using the supplied configuration file, and allows for a session object to be instantiated. The session factory is a thread-safe object and used by all the threads of an application. The session factory habit object, so usually it is created during application startup and kept for later use. You would need one session factory object per database using separate configuration file. So if you are using multiple databases, then you would have to create multiple session factory objects.